So let's talk about uh, Wednesday 9 trade 2025. So let's talk about the first trade I took here. Okay, I want to clear a few things out in this. Okay, what I did wrong, what I did right. So looking back into this trade, my bias was bullish because the 15-minute stop rate was still didn't happen. So that was my target. I want to see the stop rate happen, but in order to see that, like if you look at it with this 4 hour buy, we swept a 4 hour buy, so we came back respecting that. We started pushing to the upside. This kind of confirmed this push here kind of confirmed me that we have a fine chance of coming to do the stop rate. So if I look at the 1 minute here, this one. Okay. So first we have this push down, and I wanted to see a little bit more confirmation here, so I waited for it. Then I had this SMT going on here with this lows here, and then we have this push. Okay. Then once it started coming back, I wait for a bit more confirmation, and once I started seeing that we are pushing to the upside, I took the trade, targeted this buy stop. Okay. Now here was this could be a very nice trade because I don't set my TP, like I set my order, I set the stop loss, and then I always take out partial. Like in this case, I'll take out partial some out here and then let the rest go. So I put a TP on, so that kind of went wrong. So I wasn't able to take full advantage of this move, but I was right, and this trade worked out pretty well. Nothing special. Things that I done well is pretty much what they say. Pretty much followed everything, wait for a little bit more further confirmation. That worked out pretty well. Okay, second trade that I could have taken was this 5-minute DMT low. This was my 15-minute DMT low after this stop rate done. Okay, this is the DMT low for me. And but the problem, there was no problem actually. There was a SMT going on at the 1 minute. We kind of swept this buy stop here, and look at this. We didn't have any SMTs or anything. Like this is a 1 hour 15 minute. Let me see. Yeah, this is a 1 hour. See, this is a 1 hour high here. So I wanted to see a 5-minute stop rate. Okay, but we didn't have anything at all. Looking at the 1 minute, like didn't have any SMTs or anything, but he had a nice push. Like we had a nice push, and like really we kind of broke through this fair value gap. So how I could have taken that is, once I'm seeing that we are having displacement back into the range, or kind of disrespecting these fair value gaps, this is the when I should have looked to see some trade. My one trade would be from this here, this 5-minute fair value gap, or this order block with some 15-second, 30-second confirmation. Same thing here again, 30-second confirmation. Then I could have seen some trade towards this DMT low and take out 90% out of this position and then let the rest go. Would have been a nice trade. So that's all I could have get in the London session. Then at the New York AM session, I took this trade here. Now, this trade is a particular trade I want to talk about. This trade is, first of all, my bias was short-term bullish in this case, because we just went into that. We done the stop rate here, as you can see. See, now we went down, we done the stop rate, and we started having some nice fall. Now now this becomes our bigger time frame market structure shift here. Okay, so once we had this 15-minute, we had a 15-minute, 5-minute. You see, nicely done. So now once this happened, we reached some form of point of interest, which is this order block. This is when I look to see what. This is a big push to the downside. We have this fair value gap, and we have 50% of this whole range. So my bias was a short-term bullish here in this case, and I wanted to see us, go through it. So I checked for my model, and my model happened pretty nicely here. You can see swapped internal. We possibly had an SMT going on with this lows, or maybe not. So swapped internal, broke through this high, put a 1 minute fair value gap. So the idea was, I was a bit hesitant on taking this trade from this low here. Even though everything worked out pretty well, the hesitant because this is a 3-minute fair value gap, very tiny fair value gap. But look, this pretty tiny fair value gap, 1, 2, 3, hold 3 candles. Usually gonna see these tiny fair value gaps works pretty well. So what I wanted to see is this one's actually go broke. So there was 2 ways of doing, like which one I did. I won't say I was completely wrong about it, because some cases you're gonna see this is not gonna hold and you're gonna come even lower. In this case, which we have done, the problem was the 2 things that I could have done. Once I see this model happening, first thing first I could have done is go get on with some lower position, let's say half of my position, and then once I'm seeing confirmation we're breaking through this, putting the fair value gap where I actually took the trade. I got my field here because of the spread. This is nice. Okay, then I could have, like, let's say I took 50% here, I took 50% here. This could be nice. And once I start with this position, I go break even on this position. Okay, this is one way of doing it. Even if I'm losing half, not too much. Or else, what else is this? What I have done, the second option is actually wait for the whole thing to happen and then position yourselves. This is what I've done. So I won't say there is nothing wrong with it, but this is a more strategical way of playing things out. This first option. So I'll keep it in mind. So what I did was I actually went on break even this trade because this is a simple particular reason. What I always say is after a few things, like after you enter a trade from a particular level, after a few things happens, and it will depends on trade to trade. Not every trade it will be the same. It will depends on, okay, like in this case, once we finally broke through this fair value gap and we are having this big push from this fair value gap. What I want to see, I want to see a break of structure. I want to see a fair value gap put in, price comes in, tap it and push higher. There is no way of price displacing back into the range. There is no way price displacing back into the range. It can cause multiple things. It can go break, it can take my stop here, can displace all the way lower, can go chop, anything can happen. So once I started seeing that we are breaking through this high in this particular trade, once we started breaking through this high, there is no way for us to actually come back all the way in, tap us in, and then do something. Okay, so as soon as I started seeing that we are breaking through this highs here, or possibly not here, possibly here, like we came back here, possibly let's say this becomes an order block, and we came here, we tap into this. So once I started seeing we are finally getting rid out of, like, we came back into this order block, and then we finally seeing this candle. When this candle was here, okay, when this candle was here like this, that's when I went break even, because after I see that we came back into, first of all we came back into this fair value gap, we pushed higher, broke above this high, came back here, tap into this order block, and we are breaking through this. In this scenario, in this particular scenario, once we started going up here, breaking through this high, there is no way for us to actually come back again lower. There is no way. So when I see this candle started going up, like started going above this level, I went break even, because I don't want to see a sweep right now. I want to see a solid break. If it's a sweep, I am out of this trade, because that means something wrong going on. I want to see a solid break and go push to the upside. If that's not happening, there is something wrong. So this is what I show. This is what I say. This will be particular scenario depending on where the hell you are positioning yourself. In this case, once we are breaking above this high, there is no way for us to come back again here. There has to be a push right now. So that's when I go and break even, and price came back and I went and break even in this trade. And particularly then we kind of started chop, and after 9:30, like after 8:30, I don't take any trade, because 9:30 after that we start our, like, 9:30 Indian Standard Time. We started our New York lunch session, and there is not much of thing like in the lunch session, and then we had our FOMC. So particularly there would be London session, I could have taken this trade possibly, but didn't took it, whatever, took this one and went on to the dead, and then find out this trade. And after I went on break even, I didn't look at much of things, and that's how it went on this day. Not a bad bias, worked out. 2 trades played out nice, 1 win, 1 break even. This one I could have done a bit better, but what else? So that's all for the day.